All right, it is a big Monday, day after the Rams pull off the stunning upset at SoFi Stadium, and the Lakers pull off the not-so-stunning defeat of the Portland Trailblazers last night, one of the worst teams in the league. Joining us right now is ESPN NBA analyst Bobby Marks. Bobby, great to see you, man.
Hey, guys. Great to be here.
Oh, it's so nice of you to come by. You were just telling us your son's at USC, so even though you live back east, it's a chance for you to come out and see your son, and we are the winners. We are the victors.
I've watched so many USC football games. I don't know if that's good for your health, right?
No,
well, ask Mace. He goes to most of them.
They lead in the fourth quarter all the time.
All right, Bobby. The conversation today has been a lot about based on something that happened on NBA Countdown on Friday night, where Wilbon and Windhorst had a lengthy debate on whether or not it makes sense for LeBron to be traded.
That doesn't mean draft picks. It doesn't mean guys who are in their second and third year. Steph and Draymond are in their mid-30s. We're not talking about guys who are 30, 31, approaching with a long runway. We're talking about guys who want to, I'm sure, win now. I mean, you know, this is a team you follow very closely. They do things big. When you've won 4 championships, the only way to get bigger is to put the best, shiniest, brightest, most substantive piece you can put on that team. And guess what? If that guy happens to be playing for a team that isn't any good, a few hundred miles south, isn't any good, and going nowhere this year, and he's even older than Steph and Draymond, and we just saw him play in the Olympics, Brian Windhorst did, and I know he loved it because he sat there and watched it live. We just saw them play together. I'm sorry, this is an easy answer. Elbow me if I'm wrong about this.
I wouldn't elbow you if you was wrong with my life, because I love you too much, but you're right. This is
LeBron James.
Nobody knows more about this stuff than you do. How difficult would it be to even execute that? Even if LeBron came to the Lakers and said, guys, I'm going to go chase a championship, how hard is it to pull off?
Yeah, as you just said, he's got a true no-trade clause. Him and Bradley Beal are the only 2 players in the NBA, so he's got that there. So he calls the shots on any trade. Making trades under this collective bargaining agreement is extremely, extremely difficult. When you have a player making $48, $49 million, it's hard to move that type of contract because a third of the league either can't take back more money in a trade. In Golden State's one of them. The Lakers are another team. Or you can't combine salaries here. I've given this example. I said this to Brian Windhorst. I said, think of it as a Rubik's Cube. Mm-hmm. It looks good on one side and it doesn't fit on the other here. And that's why you're getting third teams in and fourth teams in here. But basically moving forward, I don't care if you're LeBron James or if you're Kevin Durant, moving $48 million in this day and age is extremely, extremely difficult.
Is that good for the league? I liked it better when you used to work in a front office. You used to work for the Nets. I liked it better when teams traded more, when you could move pieces. Sometimes, and you experience this in your career, sometimes a player just needs a change of scenery and then he takes off. By restricting trades with this CBA, was it an unintended consequence? Did they want to restrict trades? Is it good for the league to have the CBA?
I think we're in a little bit of a perfect storm right now just because the salary cap only grew, I think, 3%. And as the salary cap grows, so does the apron levels.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So when we get this new TV deal that's going to come in this offseason, everything will start to grow and get better here. But right now we're just kind of in this really holding pattern here. And that's why I said, like, the teams out there like Charlotte and Detroit, those teams benefit. They're basically trying to spread a lot of the talent around. Even in an example like Zach LaVine, who we've talked about a lot over the last couple of years. Zach LaVine's having a really good year in Chicago, but he's making $43 million.
Yeah.
And it's hard to move $43 million for another 3 or 4 players.
So if I'm LeBron, LeBron goes to the Lakers and says, I'd like to be traded. And I'd like to be traded to Golden State. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, there is a way to do it. It's basically kind of just stacking contracts here. I think when you look at it, Golden State's perspective, they've got a lot of certainly the Andrew Wiggins contract.
He's got to be part of it, right?
Yeah, he's the $26 million guy.
Right.
And then you're looking at, they've got a lot of expiring, whether it be Gary Payton, whether it be Kuminga, whether it be Looney, guys like that. They've got a lot of stuff to put in a deal. The hard part is, as I said, like the Lakers can't take back more money and Golden State can't take back more money. All right, so how do we get 48 to match up with 48? And then how do we get another team involved? So there's definitely different ways to do it.
I haven't thought about it at all, but Wiggins, Payton, Kuminga, and Podziemski gets you to 47.
Wendy gave me a heads up on Friday afternoon because I was texting with him. He goes, "Hey, I think Wilbon's going to want to talk about it on the show tonight." And he goes, "And I'm crunching the numbers." And I said, "What do you got?" He goes, "I got the numbers." And it was like exactly what you just said.
Yeah, it's like you said, a Rubik's cube to get it to work. It looks like those Wiggins has got to be part of it, and then some of the minor players can trade spots. But it seems like there is some way to do it. Again, if LeBron were to initiate,
I think things really have to go off the tracks.
Yeah,
I think things have to really trend
much worse than they have.
Much
been
worse.
Now.
Yeah, I think they have to be out of the playing mix when we get to late January, early February. I don't think they will be. I think they'll listen. The Western Conference, this is
just loaded. Yeah.
I mean, the teams on the outside, Sacramento, right? San Antonio, Denver's in 8 or 9 right now. Like 500 keeps you in this, and I think they should be better than 500. They're going to get help with this break that's coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
This little bit of a break
yeah.
will help them. They'll help a lot of teams here.
Let me ask you about a team that I think is very quietly, not a lot of people talk about it. You probably do in your world. But am I overrating Oklahoma City? They are loaded top to bottom with young talent, Bobby, and they control the next 3 drafts. The only downside is eventually they're not going to be able to pay everybody. But for the next 5 years, don't they control the NBA, basically?
They do. And I had this conversation with Bob Myers about it, and he said, like, well, how are they going to be able to afford Chet Holmgren,
Jalen Williams. Yeah.
And I said the beauty of Oklahoma City is they've got so many draft picks that when one guy gets expensive, they just replenish it with another player. When Cason Wallace, who's on in a second year, becomes expensive 3 years from now, or Lou Dort becomes expensive, the pick from Miami in 2025 now replaces it. They basically have this endless cycle of draft picks that keep on replenishing all these young players that eventually become too expensive.
So your kid is at USC, huh?
He is. We just got that second semester tuition bill.
And
I'm sorry.
Now is he a backup on the rowing team, or how do you get
He got in the right way.
Yeah, I didn't know consultation with Lori
We don't want to come out
Loughlin.
to visit you in prison.
And what's he studying?
He's studying international poly with a focus in cybersecurity.
How do you like his first USC football season?
He loved it, but man, he wasn't a big football guy. My 15-year-old is, but he's texting me last week, hey, we just got the 11th best player in recruiting before
Goes
I knew
by
it.
Thanos, yeah.
I think we got spoiled with the LSU win to start the season.
It kind of rose expectations.
And then we had a lot of those fourth quarter demises.
Oh, God.
All right, Bobby, before we let you get out of here, where do the Lakers finish at the end of the season, in your opinion? Do you think they're into this where they've been lately, 6, 7, 8, 9, or do they miss altogether? Are they better than that? What do you think?
I think they're in the play-in mix here, and I think they're in the play-in mix. A lot of it is because Houston and Memphis are a lot better. And those
Especially
teams,
Houston,
those
right?
teams that did not make the playoffs last year push everyone back. But they're no different. They're going to be in there with maybe Denver, maybe Minnesota. They're going to be the Clippers certainly could be in there too. There are going to be a lot of teams in there that will be above 500. But I do think it will be they'll be in that play-in mix.
Last year you needed to be.
I think you needed 49
Yeah,
wins.
you needed 49.
Yeah.
No, because the Lakers had 47, right?
And they
Just
were
made
the
it.
7.
But 500, I don't think in the West even makes it. I think you got to be better than 500.
I agree. 500 does not make it, not even to the play-in.
Yeah.
But funny thing, in the East, you might be the 6th
Oh,
seed.
yeah, no, it's
Hey,
true.
we might look up in a month from now in Philadelphia, might be in 5.
I know.
That's
Crazy.
Yeah. All right,
Crazy.
Bobby, it's great seeing you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on your son getting into
I
USC.
appreciate
That's
it.
awesome,
Tell him
man.
if he gets bored, he wants to come hang out with us to come by.
I will. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right.